Beginning. Arrival at the palace. I had never expected diplomacy to be this awkward. My mission to the planet Zythera was supposed to be straightforward. Deliver technological updates for the planetary shields and negotiate resource-sharing agreements. Nothing in my training had prepared me for Queen Lyria, the reigning monarch of Zythera, whose reputation for power and composure was legendary across the galaxy. Zythera's capital was an architectural marvel. Towers of translucent crystal spiraled into the sky, reflecting the twin suns in kaleidoscopic patterns. Floating walkways connected massive palace wings, while shimmering energy fields protected the city from external threats. When I entered the grand hall of the palace, all activity paused. Lyria sat on her throne, a structure carved from a single massive gem that pulsed with light. Her presence was magnetic. Every guard, diplomat, and servant in the room seemed to orbit around her silently. "Human," she said, her voice both melodic and commanding. "You are the one bringing technology from your world." "Yes, Your Majesty," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "I am here to assist Zythera in any way I can." Her gaze was unyielding. There was a spark in her eyes, a mix of curiosity and challenge. I'd been warned that she was a master negotiator, but I hadn't expected to be unsettled by the sheer force of her presence. "Very well," she said. "You may present your findings." Middle. The fateful conversation. The presentation went smoothly, but tension lingered in the air. Lyria's questions were precise, insightful, and occasionally pointed, sometimes bordering on intimidating. Yet, behind her formality, I noticed subtle glances and gestures that suggested a deeper curiosity. After the meeting, I was invited to the private gardens, an enclosed area above the palace, with floating platforms, luminescent flowers, and streams of glowing liquid flowing like rivers. Here, Lyria usually entertained close advisors, but today it seemed she wanted to observe me more personally. Trying to break the tension, I decided to make a light-hearted comment, risky but potentially effective. "Your gardens are impressive," I said, walking beside her. "Although, I think the royal landscaping budget might be a little excessive." She raised an eyebrow, clearly unamused. I could feel the weight of her scrutiny, but I pressed on. "And, Your Majesty, if I may be bold." She paused, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Boldness is acceptable, human, provided it does not insult me." I chuckled nervously. "Then I'll risk it. You know, your armor, or whatever ceremonial robes you wear, makes you look incredibly intimidating. But I can't help noticing your physique. Your butt is really remarkable." The words tumbled out before I could think better of them. Froze. The gardens were silent except for the soft hum of energy streams. Her eyes widened, then astonishingly, her face turned a bright, unmistakable red. I had never seen anything like it, not in any human or alien I had encountered. The Queen of Zythera, renowned for her composure and authority, was blushing because of my joke. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Guards in the distance seemed frozen mid-step. Even the ambient energy of the garden felt charged, waiting for her reaction. Finally, she exhaled, a mix of disbelief and amusement in her voice. "Human, are you always this reckless with your words?" I meant it as a compliment." I stammered, realizing I might have crossed an unspoken line in royal etiquette. "You are bold," she said, attempting to regain composure, though the faint pink hue on her cheeks persisted. "Few dare speak to me this way and live to tell the tale." The Queen's curiosity. As the initial shock passed, Lyria's tone softened. She studied me, curiosity evident in every tilt of her head. Most humans would bow, stammer, or show fear. You are different. You speak as though fear does not exist, though I sense caution beneath your words. I suppose. I've faced enough danger in my travels to know when to risk it, I replied, cautiously smiling. And I figured, if I don't risk a laugh, I might never know your reaction. Her expression shifted, half surprise, half intrigue. A human with wit. An audacity. Very well. Perhaps you are worthy of further observation. For the next few hours, she walked with me through the gardens, asking about my home planet, my culture, and even personal opinions. I realized that my bold joke had unexpectedly broken the ice. The Queen, usually formal and intimidating, now engaged with me as if she were genuinely curious. Shared laughter. By mid-afternoon, laughter echoed among the luminescent flowers. I recounted small mishaps from my own world, blending humor with candid observations. Lyria laughed, a clear, resonant sound that seemed almost musical in the stillness of the gardens. Each laugh melted some of the formality that had dominated our encounter. At one point, she leaned slightly closer, lowering her voice. Do you always speak so freely, human? Only when the alternative is silence, or being overly formal with someone who clearly has the ability to vaporize me, I said, half joking, half serious. Her eyes sparkled and she smiled, a genuine, fleeting smile. Remarkable. You survive my court not through fear or obedience, but through humor. That is, unexpected. Ending. And unlikely connection. As twilight fell over Zythera, painting the gardens in hues of violet and gold, I realized something extraordinary had happened. In a single bold moment, I had not only risked protocol, but I had forged a connection with the most powerful being on the planet. A queen, known for her authority, had blushed because of a joke, a small human act of audacity. Lyria turned to me, still smiling faintly. You may not fully understand it, human, but you have earned attention. That is rare in my court. I'll take it, I replied, laughing softly, though my heart raced. Do not mistake this for leniency, she warned, her tone slipping back into authority, but with a subtle warmth I had not noticed before. You have amused me, human. That may count for more than you realize. And with that, she departed, leaving me alone among the glowing flora. I leaned against a railing, taking a deep breath, and realized that sometimes a single bold word can change the course of relationships, even with an alien queen. That day, I learned that courage, humor, and honesty were universal languages, even across galaxies. And somewhere deep in my mind, I knew this encounter would shape not only my future, but the Queen's perception of humanity forever.